MovieBlab is live now.
They can hear us talking, so that's why I like to just repeat MovieBlab. MovieBlab. They say it takes 6 times before brand recognition. MovieBlab. MovieBlab, MovieBlab, MovieBlab. Now they know.
Uh-oh.
We're coming at you guys. It's going to be a fun one. It's a little bit dark as always. Isolation movies are top 5. You want them? We got them. Okay.
Commented. I look so sad in that picture. I've realized.
Let me tell y'all motherfuckers something. I don't know what the fuck this coronavirus is about. I don't understand how that shit was from Wuhan, China. Now all of a sudden this shit is on motherfucking tour. And let me tell y'all something. I ain't gonna front. A bitch is scared. I'm a little scared, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit got me panicking. And a lot of you motherfuckers think it's a joke, like I was thinking, right? But that shit right there, just because you think you're immune to it, guess what? Your pocket ain't, bitch, because a lot of shit comes from motherfucking China, bitch. So if you wonder where your motherfucking weave or your fashion over motherfucking packages have arrived, guess what, bitch? Coronavirus! Coronavirus!
Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Edison, and you're tuned in to
MovieBlab.
The clock has started.
The clock has started.
Action! What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of MovieBlab. That's right. It's gonna be a fun night. We're gonna count down our top 5 favorite isolation movies. That's right. Movies about people who are stuck where they are, just like us guys. Tune in. Kendall Powell and Kevin Sampeo. We're back. How's it going, guys?
What's up? That was
It's
chaos.
always so much hype, and then it's just like, hey.
A visual overload, and then it's just back to normal.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be surprised. The engagement goes up during visual overload and then immediately declines. So that's why we do it. Also, it gets me excited, and I am excited, guys. My guests today are the lovely Kendall Powell. Kendall, how are you? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You know, like I said earlier, just neutral.
Feeling neutral. These days, that's a good thing. Right?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Kevin, how are you? This is I've just meeting you for the first time, literally 5 minutes ago, and but you come highly recommended as a movie aficionado, and so tell me who the hell you are.
I just. Oh, that was Kendall. I'm excited to be here. I've never actually done a podcast before, but I am obsessed with film, and I direct like music videos and shorts as well.
Very
so,
cool.
Yeah.
So you're a filmmaker. That explains it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even before Corona, they moved.
Even pre-corona. Awesome. Well, this is going to be a fun one. I think we're going to quickly jump into some news before we dive in to our top 5 isolation movies. That's right, guys. We're going to hang out and isolate together at home alone. That's right. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a really good one. We each have our top 5 coming at you. But now it's time for news. The drop sounds were a mistake. Movie News Blab with me and Kendall Powell and Kevin Sampeo. That was good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. I loved it.
Thank you. I need it. I need the encouragement. So here's the latest stories. I'm gonna pull them up for us, guys. A couple of interesting ones. We did news with Matt Cragg. God, I love that.
Brag
photo of him.
'em.
We did news with Matt Craig yesterday, and this is sort of a follow-up on some of that stuff, but it's all very interesting. And, you know, like any news, ours is kind of repetitive as we just add one piece of information at a time until we figure out what's going on. So here's this TikTok, okay? We got some breaking news. How do y'all feel about TikTok?
Oh, I haven't taken the plunge.
No feelings, okay? Kevin, have you?
Well, but I have
Oh.
enjoyed the ones that have been sent.
Okay. So you don't.
There's great content there. I just know that if I download this app, I'm gonna be addicted to this app. So we're just not going there right now.
Yeah, I mean, I already get like 5 of them sent to me a day.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
friends. Have you downloaded it, Kevin?
I don't even have Instagram, so this is so like the opposite end of the stuff I watch. It's just like, oh boy, I'm excited for what the news is.
Well, they're going Hollywood, guys. They're going Hollywood.
Oh,
They're gonna follow the model of. It seems like they're gonna follow the model of the kind of the withering. What's the Quibi?
Oh yeah.
Possibly. We're gonna see a lot more TikTok stars and celebrities that are like already famous. I think they're gonna try to expand and just like they're getting into Twitter's territory and other things like that. It's really interesting, but it's not that movie related. So doesn't seem like we got a great one here. Let's move on to our next piece of breaking news. This is Tribeca Enterprises partners with IMAX AT&T on Drive-In Summer Series. That's where we're at now, guys. Tribeca is going to be at a drive-in movie theater. But at least I guess something's going to happen.
I mean, I love drive-ins. I used to like them when I was like a kid. They don't really happen too often anymore, but I'm not against it.
Yeah,
I kind of think it's sweet.
It is sweet, but it's also, I'm being skeptical about it, just because I was pretty impressed with South by with how South by handled did this Amazon. Did you guys know that South by showed?
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
Did anyone watch that?
No.
Exactly.
Not yet.
It's over.
But I plan to watch it though, because I have a friend
I don't know
that
if it's still even
released
available to
something on
watch.
No, I think it is.
Well,
maybe until tomorrow.
It's very limited movies. The lineup is almost nothing because the filmmakers didn't want to take the risk. They didn't want to risk.
Yeah.
They didn't want because the premiere politics at festivals is so crazy.
I mean, I agree with it. You know, like you don't want your be premiering on some guy's like iPhone.
No,
yeah,
that's
totally.
the whole point of festivals is to see your indie thing on the big screen. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Well, but the drive-in thing is cool. It's still, I mean, I don't think drive-ins create the movie magic experience like sitting in the theater close to people does. But I think it's better than nothing. At least people will. I mean, how good of a view do you have? Like, let's say that's what they do there, right?
See,
Yeah,
my thing is you need it to be like a certain kind of movie because, like, I don't want to watch a drama in my car, you know. But if it's a trashy movie, great, you know.
Yeah, you're right. But also, like, what I'm saying is, like I would watch it. Like here, like, front row, but that doesn't look very good from back here.
Yeah, like what if you drive like a Hummer? Like you're blocking everyone's view.
If you drive a Hummer, you should go fuck yourself.
That's also true. I'm thinking of like tall cars. I don't know.
But yeah, a tall car, or like you have some like souped up vehicle or whatever. Kevin, you love it when I cut to you, don't you?
It delayed. So I actually wasn't even paying attention to that when it happened.
I see. I mean, the first time I did it, you were like, "Whoa." Anyway, that's kind of interesting. And then, of course, this is a follow-up story from yesterday. Disney made more money than they thought they would.
I'm actually pretty cool with this.
You're what?
I'm pretty cool.
Get it
with
back.
this.
They have
I'm
a major
fine.
monopoly.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. 21 billion is a lot of money, though. 21
Oh
billion.
yeah, but you know,
I
they
heard about this
Star
on,
Wars
like-
and Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll just mean they'll put out less of that bullshit.
Great.
IMO.
You know what though? I did have the urge. I've never seen Spider-Man: Homecoming,
I
and
do
I
wanna
had
see
the
that one.
urge today to
Yeah.
watch that.
I mean, they're all
So-
pretty good. A lot of them are really good. I'm really excited about. I mean, I was just thinking about Thor: Ragnarok being like one of my favorite Marvel movies, so I'm really excited about the Star Wars news. You guys? Know
Oh
about this?
yeah, I
Yeah.
did hear about this. Yes.
Taiki Waititi, or I don't know how to say his name, but the director of Thor: Ragnarok. It's definitely not Taiki
Yeah.
Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Thank you. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, can't take it back now.
We're live.
Anyway, this is a loss through 2022. I mean, it's gonna hit tourism in so many ways, but obviously Disneyland is a huge one. I don't care. I mean, you know, these aren't the things that are important in life, except I feel sorry for all the employees that are going to get laid off and all of that shit. I mean, that's a lot of people. That loss is a lot of people's jobs. That it's not Disney losing anything, you know. It's people's losing their jobs. But that's what
Also, I think that, I mean, this probably means, because aren't a lot of the like ride operators and stuff like that, people actually working in the park are like college interns. I don't even know if they're paid.
what? Wait.
And if they are, it's
If
like
this is
it's,
true.
it's
This is the
low
craziest breaking news I've ever
wage.
heard. The people working at the Disney parks running the rides are doing it as a free internship?
I don't know about free. Let's not go on the record here, but I know that it's college children.
Kids, college children.
Yeah,
College
and
boys and girls.
I know that like if you're a princess or a character, you're not paid super handsomely, if you will, or how demanding that job is, as you could imagine.
Yes. Well, you guys are a little out of sync, so I'm gonna let you go real quick, and then I'll be right back. There we go. Anyway, that probably sums up the news. I don't know about you guys. Wasn't that scary when I drop you like that? It's to fix your sync. Your,
Okay.
Wait,
yeah. See, now
Am I back?
your voice is sunk up, so that's why I do it. You're back, yeah.
oh,
I'm sorry. I have to do this. Anyway, I think that about covers it. Sometimes, most of the times I've been doing these film news things, it's been pretty fucking depressing. So,
oh
Yeah, film
wait.
podcast when there's no movies out right
We
now.
have a comment from
it's,
Lucia.
I'm like ESPN over here. Like, I saw an ESPN article today.
Hold on.
And
We
it
have a
said-
comment from Lucia that she said that's true. I don't think they're paid. So
What?
You shouldn't work there. That's
basically what I'm
Work
saying
there.
is that the way they're going to recoup the costs from the park loss is that the Disney waffles are going to be $25 now instead of $18. I still love going to Disney World. No hate.
No hate at all. Yeah, it is like being. I saw an ESPN article today. Like, it's the same thing. There's no movies. There's no sports. At least there's some streaming stuff. But
I have some
the
friends who are
articles-
really excited about Korean baseball right now. That's how dire it's
Hell yeah. I'm sorry. I do feel very fortunate to not be a sports guy right now. I'd be super bummed.
Yeah.
But there's everyone's losing things that they love. But anyway, I saw this article at ESPN. It was like, how are mascots handling coronavirus?
Oh, wow.
I'm like, damn. They're
Yeah.
scraping the bottom of the bottle for that.
Oh boy.
Oh, the barrel. Sorry.
Bottom of the bottle.
Bottom of the bottle. Okay, guys, that was some pretty dope news. I feel good about it. This has been Movie News Blab with Kendall and Kevin. Should we get to our top list, guys? I think it's time. Are you ready to dive into
It is
isolation
time.
movies?
Do it.
Okay, guys, this is such an interesting category because it was so hard to pick what movies were truly isolation films and what an isolation film even is, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And Matt Cragg, a regular on the show, he put it well when I was talking to him about it this morning. He said they're movies where you can't go anywhere.
Also, shouts out to Craig. I see he has joined this
Oh,
live
good.
stream.
He's in the good. He joined right as I read his note. But that's what that was a good impression of him, right? They're movies where you can't go anywhere. That sounds
Yeah,
like
that
Matt.
was pretty good.
Yeah. Anyway, and I have to agree, that's sort of the criteria here. And so we're going to be counting from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. And it's going to get more intense and more exciting and more in depth as we progress, right, guys?
Absolutely.
That's how we play these top 5 games. Top 5 times 3, total of 15 movies. It's going to be awesome, guys. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. I gotta fix one thing. Okay. I'm pulling up the IMDb because that's every film nerd's favorite website. Except not really. But we're gonna. Ooh, I can't wait for Space Force. We are going to be taking a look at these movies, and maybe we'll learn some things along the way thanks to the internet. So, Kendall.
Yes.
Ladies first, I want you to start us off with your number 5 pick for your favorite isolation movie.
So I picked The Invitation. You can watch on Netflix right now.
Oh, it's on
I
Netflix.
Pretty sure.
And I believe I've seen this movie as a dinner party, correct? That happens in the middle of nowhere?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like this film.
Not necessarily middle of nowhere, but let's call it. It's like kind of like
I'm trying to push the isolation, Kendall.
Los Angeles Hills, give or take.
No, that's true. They're trapped. They're definitely trapped.
Yes.
Sometimes the fact that it's an isolation movie at all is sort of a spoiler.
But it's in the like one-liner synopsis. If we pulled up the IMDb, I bet it would say.
What do you like so much about The Invitation, Kendall?
Oh man, so this movie's like pretty low budget, and honestly, the acting is also like not super great.
Okay.
But it really, I don't know. There's something about it that's just like charming, and the whole time I was tense. And the twist at the end, chef's kiss.
It definitely is an anxious one. Like it definitely
Yes.
like adrenaline with very little like direct reason why you're feeling that way. It's all sort of more subliminal, right? If I remember, until it becomes what you expect or what you don't expect. It goes a little more hardcore.
Yeah, and because we're not trying to ruin the movie, I also love the characters that they've chosen, like the ex-wife. So basically, painting the picture, it's like the guy is going to his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or whatever. He's going to her dinner party and they've made amends. And he's like, this is weird. We haven't talked in a while. And the ex-wife is this bohemian chick who's like married this eccentric dude. And I don't know if I can spoil the next part. Can I?
What's you laughing about?
What'd you say, Kevin?
It's a really mild way to put how her husband acts eccentric.
Yeah, I was about to ask you.
Yeah,
Kevin,
well,
what do
because
you-
I'm like, how far can I spoil it?
Yeah.
as far as you can take it, honestly, as far as
Well,
you feel
basically,
like is morally right.
isolation. They're
Yes.
quickly trapped.
Yep.
There are cult themes, and it's bonkers, and I
There you
love
go.
it.
That's perfect. Kevin, I'm assuming you've seen this.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan. I like
What
this
do
movie
you
a lot.
think? Well, yeah, what was your overall take on The Invitation?
Yeah, the way I always look at this movie is like it kind of just captures that feeling of like uncomfortably catching up with every single person in the room when everyone else knows each other.
Yes. Yeah, the
And,
dinner
like-
party
Yes.
anxiety, the whole of that party anxiety is the thing that I have that, so it kind of got to me in the
Yeah,
movie.
absolutely. And like usually you would just be like something's off because of that, but obviously there's something else going on. But that's an isolation in itself rather than just them being like trapped in this house. So I think that works really well in a couple of ways.
We're already blowing our minds. Just don't let it get to your head, man. I love this movie. I think it's a great number 5 pick, Kendall. That's
Thanks.
awesome. Great job.
Highly recommend.
For those of you just tuning in, we're picking our top 5 isolation movies, which is movies where the characters just can't leave. They shouldn't leave and they can't leave, even if they want to, right, guys? You want to leave? Well, you can't. Isolation movies. Okay, we're back. Kevin, what you got? What you got for us for your number 5 pick?
So for my number 5, I started thinking about this list, and my immediate thought was like, well, obviously I'm not going to do something by like Robert Altman because he's known for like huge cast and a bunch of people. And then I was like, wait, no, there's a perfect Robert Altman movie for this. which is a secret honor with Philip Baker Hall.
Secret Honor. I love Philip Baker
Which
Hall.
I've
Oh my
never
God, I'm gonna
seen.
watch this. 1984.
It's a one-man show where he plays Nixon, who just resigned after Watergate, who just gets drunk watching TVs of himself on camera and just rambling about what went wrong.
Oh my God.
Oh, this sounds amazing.
Incredible. How have I not?
I love this
is
movie.
This is a deeper cut for Robert Altman, or is it?
Yeah,
am I
he
just
shot
missing-
this when he was teaching at Michigan State University, and all the
Oh,
students,
dope. With
like his
students.
crew.
Yes, I love it when people do that. Todd Solondz does that every time.
Totally.
Yeah. Wow. Secret Honor. This looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's just like I just thought a person drunkenly rambling about what's wrong with the government and how we can't fix things while just like pacing back and forth and getting drunker is like, oh yeah, it's what I'm doing in isolation all the time. It's great.
I feel like Philip Baker Hall almost basically plays a game show host version of Nixon in Magnolia. So this feels like a perfect.
PTA loves this movie. I know that.
I'm sure he loves Robert Altman, because it just I'm sure it reassures him to take his sweet ass time when.
Yeah.
and it works. Cool, man. I'm jazzed about Secret Honor. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I think it's on Criterion Channel if anyone has that. I watched this years ago. It's been a while. I need to revisit it, but it's worth your time.
They need to do
It's,
this with.
it's also only 90 minutes, which means
Yeah, it's a
wow.
play.
Low
Really is.
commitment.
yeah, it's written by Donald
Ready to
Freed
watch.
and Arnold M. Stone, plus some other people. It says wrote the original play. Wow,
Mhm.
cool. Yeah, they wrote the screenplay too. The original people. Yeah, I love like. Have you seen A Big Kahuna? It's got Kevin Spacey in it, but it's a good movie.
I've never heard that one.
It's another movie to like. I love playing in movie adaptations. I'm a big fan
Oh.
of those, so I'm sure I'll dig this. Cool. All right, so that was your number 5. I guess that means it's my turn. Cool.
Mhm.
Guys, my number 5 pick. I wasn't gonna do this music to you guys because I thought it would disorient you.
it would have.
Yeah, but now you know. Anyway, my number 5 pick is a fantastic film by a very popular now horror director, but one of his earlier works. In fact, one could say it put him on the map. My pick is Hush, directed by Mike Flanagan. Have you guys seen this movie?
Never.
I have.
What did you think? Yes, let's agree to disagree, please.
I don't know how I feel about it because I don't think it's bad. Don't get me wrong, but it's very blunt. I think a
love
couple
blunt,
of choices,
yeah.
which I won't spoil, are very like direct to the point where like, either you're in or you're out. You know?
Yeah, Mike Flanagan isn't the most subtle of filmmakers.
No, God, no.
If you've seen his most recent Shining sequel, which I got through half of,
I have
Dr.
not.
Sleep. Yeah, big recommend there. I'm sure you will now. I just said that, but I think that I love a lot of his movies. Don't get me wrong. I think I'm glad he's making horror movies. Because he does sort of serve that. I do like here's your horror, like here you go, you know. I
like
can be in the
that.
mood for
There's
that.
finally a director who's not just like, oh, I'm doing a horror movie because it's a small budget, and then I'm going to do something else with a big one. He's like, no, I'm a horror director. I'm doing horror, and I like doing really big, over the top horror.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's and he's and in the time of like The Witch and like such serious horror. Right, it's all mood and tone. I like those, but I miss sometimes. He gives us the popcorn again.
Oh,
you know,
I
and
like
so,
that.
Yeah, so that's my recommendation. I always like it when someone's skeptical of my choice because then it makes me say.
I felt like Autopsy of Jane Doe served that for me in the time of The Witch.
What did?
Y'all had seen that? The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Oh no, I've seen this movie pop up on my radar, but I haven't watched it.
Oh
yet.
yeah, it's super campy, but I loved it.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
like it does it well.
We did our favorite serial killer movies last night. It's a lot of top 5s this week, but I had put shit. I can't remember what movie I'm just thinking about. Well, it's best to move on quickly. Let's do Kendall Powell's number 4 pick.
Okay.
God, I really want to know what this is. It's really killing me. What?
I chose-
Tease me a little bit.
It's a movie.
Okay.
It's Green Room.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't remember the guy's name. Jeremy Saulnier, is that it?
That's
Green
it.
Room. You don't have to remember anyway. Just focus on the stuff you do know.
Whatever.
Just say that.
Anton Yelchin.
Anyway,
May
Green Room.
his
I
soul
haven't
rest
seen this. I've
in
heard this
peace.
movie is very hardcore.
Oh my god, you haven't seen it?
I
It's so
know.
good.
Oh god, it is. I would say the best experience in a movie theater I've ever had was watching Green Room at Fantastic Fest.
Oh, you saw it at
People were like
Fantastic Fest.
standing up and like shouting at certain points, and it was just great.
Oh,
I
that's
loved
always
it
the
so
best.
much. Yeah, and the Q&A was also like amazing. Everything about it. I love the guy that made this movie. He really, resonated
it.
well.
Yeah. Oh.
But I chose this because I love it. Also, as someone who's been on tour where you make negative dollars and it's always a question of if you're going to eat or shower kind of thing.
Yeah. For those
So
who don't
especially
know, Kendall Powell is a prominent member of the band known as Why Bonnie. It's a name drop
Yes.
sound.
Drop
So
in
check
the
out their music.
water.
It's fucking amazing. And their music videos are so sick. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so Green Room is great. And Sir Patrick Stewart is in this, and Anton Yelchin, my favorite ever.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. We love him. Yeah, I don't know what else I should say because it's really, there's Nazis involved and it's basically revenge against the Nazis.
Oh,
Pretty-
I do love that. They deserve it. They deserve it. So it's fun
They
to
deserve
watch.
it, yeah. And the line at the end, I know, Kevin, you've seen this movie.
It's so
It's-
good.
It's
That's
perfection.
amazing.
The line? Just the single
Yeah.
line of dialogue
Yes,
at the end is
there is a line that's delivered right at the end. And you're just like, oh, that was so good.
It
I've
rolls.
never heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
Like a
it's
single
basically-
line being like incredible, like in a movie. Like you gotta
This
hear
is
this
movie-
final line of this movie. No one's ever said that to me.
Yeah, you need to sit down and not move and just watch the movie. And you're going to be stressed out the whole time. And at the end, you're going to applaud. It's great.
Great. Anything you wanted to say, Kevin, about Green Room?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this director. I like his movie before this one too, Blue Ruin, which is like I feel like this guy just kind of has a Carpenter vibe, where it's just really intense and like I don't know. I remember going to see this movie opening weekend, and during like one of the few silent moments of the entire movie, my friend just turned to me and just went, "I think this is a really fucking good movie."
Yo, dude, this
Yes.
movie's sick. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that moment when you look over at your friend and you're like, this is dope. And then the feeling after you get out of it, the best, like a fantastic
Yeah,
movie that
it's
you're
like
gonna
an
love for the rest
adrenaline
of your
rush.
life. Yeah. You're
I
like,
would say it's like one of my top 5, maybe favorite movies that I've ever seen.
oh
kind
wow,
of thing.
top 5.
Yeah, I feel that strongly about this movie. Like
You
I
got an isolation pick in your
love
top
it.
5.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's a great endorsement. I'm gonna check that one out. I mean, it's right on Netflix, isn't it? Isn't it
I
on-
actually think it is
I thought
right
it was
now.
a Netflix original.
No,
No,
Uh,
I think it is now.
come on.
It was on Netflix when it came onto my radar. Y'all, just because I host a movie show, don't mean I know every movie.
No, I think it actually is on Netflix though.
Okay.
So you definitely can watch it because I've seen it several times since whenever that was.
I see.
That had to have been like 4 years
As
ago.
soon as I finish that Robert Altman Richard Nixon movie, I'll check that one out.
It'll be a very weird double feature.
It's always funny. People.
It came out 5 years ago. That's wild.
I'd
yeah.
love to add to this game, like at the end, maybe our top 3 from other recs that we would probably are gonna watch, like which ones or whichever ones, not top 3, but whichever ones stand out for us from all these recommendations from each
Yeah.
other. Be interesting. Add the little competition, you know. I want these top 5s to be intense. All right. What is your pick, Kevin, for your favorite isolation movie?
I actually think this is a really good combo with this movie. It's my favorite John Carpenter movie, The Thing. Oh, sorry.
The Thing. You did it great. It worked great. It worked great. It was really perfect. Go back and watch the replay. It was excellent. The Thing is an amazing movie. I love John Carpenter so much. I love Christine.
Yeah, Christine's incredible.
I love Christine. Like, I think it's like it seems like it's not his like. Not enough people have seen the Christine, but The Thing is a perfect pick for Isolation. What do you love about The Thing, Kevin?
I mean, it's just a bunch of guys in Antarctica having to like not trust anyone but themselves because one of them is a thing or alien that, you know, can transform into other people, into animals. So it's isolation, not just because you're in Antarctica where you literally can't leave, but you literally can't look away from the other people for a second because you're the only one you can trust. It's the most tense and like insane movie I've ever seen.
It does show you sometimes it's better to be isolated by yourself than with other people.
But then the guy goes away, and you're like, where'd he go? And everyone else is freaking out, and they want to kill him at that point. So you can't be alone because then they'll want to kill you.
Yeah,
I need to
Carpenter,
rewatch
there's nothing to make you feel safe. He
No.
just slowly chips away at any kind of hope.
It's crazy. He's like made a couple of movies that I was like considering for this because I would say he has like 3 or 4 different movies that could be like isolation
It's a big
picks. Like
theme,
this,
yeah.
Assault and Precinct.
You know,
13.
I didn't realize that this one that you're talking about is a remake. I have seen the 1951 version,
Oh, the Howard Hawks one.
not the new one. Yes, according to Google.
I didn't know The Thing was a remake.
Yeah.
Based off a book from like
Yes.
100 years ago at this point.
I remember watching the original The Thing with my family, and that's basically it. So that's why I was like, I need to rewatch this. But it turns out that the John Carpenter one is a remake.
Yeah, the 70s remake is like my favorite of the new one is the only one I would say is really genuinely bad, but even the Hawks one I like a lot, and like Hawks is John Carpenter's favorite director of all time.
Oh wow, so you got
Makes sense.
Well, y'all, that is some serious movie trivia blab.
It's time for Movie
Wow.
Trivia Blab.
Anyway.
Love it.
Okay, great, seriously great pick. I love Carpenter. He's fucking, I mean, I don't think he can do wrong. I haven't seen every Carpenter movie, but I haven't seen him do wrong yet.
Even the ones I don't really like, they're just so weird and fun that like it's
Yeah.
worth it.
And you always see him flexing different muscles in his movies, even though they're like I respect that his movies aren't all the same, like
Totally.
or like aren't like he doesn't copy himself. He's reinventing it every time for his, like he's scaring himself in new ways. I feel like
Yeah, it's a guy who I've like read interviews with him before, and he's been like, I just wanted to make westerns, but they didn't let me do that back then. So
What?
care about what I made.
I have a fun fact. According to IMDb, he was a writer on 3 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh. Am I pronouncing this
How
right?
is that possible?
Yu-Gi-Oh. It just is.
What?
It's
Wow.
fact. In
You
2010,
must have just been a fan
which
and
is
been
surprising.
Like, yo, guys, I'll do this.
They were all Halloween themed.
Okay,
Oh.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's crazy. What, so
Yu-Gi-Oh. Am I pronouncing this right? Please
I
correct.
like to watch you play with it and try to figure it out. I don't know. That's why all I can do.
I
is
was a
just-
Pokemon gal, so I
Yes.
don't really
yeah,
know.
exactly. Same. Okay, let's move to my number 4, right, guys? Am I right? I think so.
Yeah, let's go.
That's the wrong cue. And that's the wrong cue. My number 4 for favorite isolation movies is Misery. Stephen King classic. A movie that has personal significance to me. It is the first R-rated movie I was ever allowed to see for some fucked up reason. When I was 10 years old, my dad and my grandpa let me watch this, and it literally terrified me. Talk about feeling isolated, or talk about being in the wrong company for a quarantine. This guy is sick and he's injured, and his caretaker Kathy Bates is his number 1 fan, and it's time for him to write a new novel that she has in mind for him, and things just go insane from there. Rob Reiner directed this film, and I love his movies so much. He's an incredible filmmaker. When was the last time you guys saw Misery?
I've never seen it.
I must have been like 14 or something. It's
Oh
been
my
like
God, it holds up, y'all. I know it's like an old person pick, like my favorite is Isolation
No,
Movies,
no.
Misery.
What? This is from 1990. That's
I
only
know,
30
but
years ago.
I just feel like it's Misery has been neglected.
I feel like it's referenced so often now
Yeah,
with the
that's
like
true.
leg scene. You know?
Kathy Bates is the fan.
Oh my
Is that
God.
what's happening?
Yeah, it's great. That I remember.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I think that one might make it into your top. I mean, it's crazy. The book is great too.
Yeah, this is your third Stephen King recommendation.
Yeah.
Your third?
You said Doctor Sleep before.
Oh,
Christine,
I
your
didn't
favorite
recommend Doctor
character.
Sleep, but I'm a Stephen King obsessed. Yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler. Also, Shining is on
He's
my
the
list.
reason I do cocaine all day, every day, because that's what Stephen King did, and he was very
Oh my
successful.
God.
Remember any episode you-
Shut up.
I got my trailer picked out. I just haven't moved in yet. I think that covers it. I mean, if you haven't seen Misery, then I feel sorry for you. Kendall Powell, you got to watch this pronto.
I know.
It's
I mean,
okay.
maybe tonight. Honestly,
We all
it
got
sounds
a little-
amazing.
Yeah, it's it'll be a late night for you. Okay, let's move on. We're talking such a fun topic, guys. Being alone, isolated.
It's really
We're having
light.
a real fun time, guys. Talking about our top 5 isolation movies. We just got to, if you're just tuning in, we just got to our number 3 picks. That's right, things are heating up. This is a big decision for all of us. I'm with Kendall Powell and Kevin Sampaio, right? Kevin Sampaio. Yep. No. I'm saying it wrong.
Yes.
All right, Sampaio. Okay.
Oh, what was that hilarious zombie flick, Andrew? About words.
Pontypool?
Pontypool.
Have you seen
Yeah.
Pontypool, Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin, watch that.
Ah,
You
It's-
gotta see Pontypool.
It
dude.
is.
It's an isolation movie. It is. But we're cheating, Kendall. What is your
I'm sorry,
number
I'm sorry.
3? No, I'm kidding. What is your number 3 pick?
Okay.
Let's see how you do. A
Okay.
little bit of hype for us.
Drum roll,
Just a little
please.
bit of. Okay. And go ahead and say the title.
It's The Shining,
Great. Another
which
classic.
we've already alluded to.
Literally, we're just having a Stephen. This
Yeah.
could be our top 5 Stephen King movies.
Seriously, I don't think I need to explain The Shining. I'm hoping everyone's seen it,
Okay,
right?
well, but what is it about? I never.
It's about a guy. They're the caretakers of a hotel, and he's got writer's block, and then some psychological shit starts happening, and the end.
I did my
And
job.
shit goes
I do it
crazy,
again.
and it's Johnny. You got it.
Are we clear? Are we clear?
Yeah, we're clear. Also, we love Shelley Duvall in this movie, particularly.
Yes. Yes.
We
do.
love her. I was that for Halloween last year,
Oh,
and I
great
think I'll be
choice.
that every year.
Yeah, I think you should. Did people love it? Did you just dress
People
like
loved it.
a little
Well,
dated?
I normally got the bangs. No, I dressed the outfit she wears in the movie
Oh, that makes sense.
when she's holding the baseball bat, running
yes.
around the hotel.
Oh,
Okay,
amazing.
spoiler alert. Shit.
There's a baseball bat, and Shelley Duvall holds it. I'm sure
Yeah.
people have had a lot of this. The people who haven't seen The Shining have had a lot of it spoiled for them over time.
You know, I found out my brother-in-law had never seen The Shining until about 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
wow.
He's a big movie fan, so I was
Oh,
like,
he
"Wait,
is.
how have you gone through life
yeah, I
and
don't
just
know
not
if
seen
yeah,
this?"
that seems like one to be. If you're a movie
You
fan,
gotta
I don't
see
know.
it.
Yeah.
It just is. Anyway, isolation because they're like in this hotel in the off season, and it's creepy.
Kevin,
And
any
no
thoughts
one-
on The Shining?
I have a weird connector to both of your last picks, actually. I was just watching the Safdie brothers do a Criterion Collection interview,
Oh,
and
shit.
they said in the interview that they went to Vermont and got snowed in, and their dad went to a movie like video place and only rented Misery and The Shining for when they were like 10, 8 years old.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they were 10 and 8, and they're like, yeah, Dad just was like, this is perfect for what's happening right now.
Oh, it's relevant. Yeah, see, some people like to watch movies to escape, and some people like them to deal with their reality, right? And I feel like
Okay, see,
isolation movies
I kind of
right now
relate to that.
are about dealing with our reality, not escaping,
Very.
which I think people should do. You know, they should deal with their realities right now, and stay the
That's
fuck
such
home.
a funny coincidence, though.
I know. I've never done that double feature. So just hearing those back to back, I was like, oh wait, I literally 3 days ago heard people say that they did this.
Also, like, The Shining is a long movie.
Yeah,
What? It's like 2.5 hours, I
Yeah,
think,
but
right?
time stops when you watch it. You know,
True.
you
True.
lose consciousness.
Yeah, it is. I looked 2.5 hours.
I love The Shining.
Anyways.
It's been so crazy how much it's been like with Ready Player One, and then this. I guess this was an adaptation of a Stephen King novel, so it was different. But the whatever the other movie was called that I just mentioned earlier, what's it called?
Mystery. Oh, Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep. Yeah.
That was like supposed to be like the sequel to this
It
Shining.
reminded me
right?
more of The Witches.
Okay.
Roald
I
Dahl's
haven't
The
seen it.
Witches, but like a bad one that I don't know. Maybe people like it. Get at me in the comments if you don't. If you do, I mean. Okay, that's a great pick. The Shining. From someone who is a professional Shelley Duvall impersonator on Halloween, I think that was a great facts. That was a great pick. All right, Kevin, what do you got for us for number 3 top isolation movies?
My number 3, I would describe as one of the most disgusting movies I've ever seen in my life. It's really recent. It's Relaxer by Joel Petrikis.
Oh, now that I know it's disgusting, the title
Hitting
sounds...
the Google. I have not seen this.
I want to see this.
I love this filmmaker, and he makes these movies in Michigan, super low budget. And this one's it's set in 1999, and this guy who's like very much in that like just stays in his basement playing video games, drinking Mountain Dew straight out of a bottle. Just that's all he does all day. He has a brother who bullies him all the time, and makes a bet that he can't beat the kill level on Pac-Man, and that he can't leave his couch until he beats it. And
What?
This sounds awesome.
it's insane. And the best thing about it is you don't have the internet back then to do this, but you can't beat that level. It's literally impossible. It just glitches out. So the guy is just stuck to his couch for months.
It's like waiting for Godot.
Wait, say that again?
It's like waiting for Godot or something.
No, he literally has said like Beckett and Buñuel have been influences, but it's just like if you add Pac-Man and guys just drinking Mountain Dew and chips the entire time. It's
oh my God, Kendall Fowler, you just froze in the best way.
Happy way. Can you hear my audio?
Oh, you're back. I just love it. I'm sorry. Yeah, that Relaxer stuff, that's like a very original premise, and I love an absurdist film or anything that has something to say about how life is just like a pointless pursuit of an impossible video game, which is what this is sounding like. I don't know. No,
it really is. And like this guy, his entire filmography is about this like weird subculture of people where like one of his movies, maybe my favorite, is Buzzard. And like I would describe that movie as Office Space meets Taxi Driver.
Hell yeah.
A guy whose greatest dream in life is to have a Freddy Krueger glove, essentially.
Oh, simple things, right?
Yeah. And he makes these movies super like micro budget. I emailed him about his movies one time, and he was like, yeah, man, I like buy a camera from Radio Shack, film it in 30 days, and return it so I don't pay for the camera.
That's amazing. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, to put out your own films with no one getting in your way consistently, you have to do them for nothing. Because that's the only way you're going to actually have that freedom. As soon as you start spending that more than Radio Shack money, you're going to get in trouble. Radio Shack. Does Radio Shack even exist anymore?
Buzzard was a few years ago, so that email was a few years back too.
No. I'm just wondering if I'm just literally just going off into.
I think like sparingly.
Dimension.
Oh no, I'm saying like that's why it's possible that he used Radio Shack. I don't think it is anymore.
It looks like it's still going.
Oh wow.
Congrats
to
So shout out to Radio Shack for helping make that movie. Cool. I'm gonna check that out. You're killing me with all these amazing premises of movies that I haven't seen. Just
prepare yourself for like imagine a guy who literally can't leave his couch. So you get stuck to the couch, you throw up. It's a lot of.
It sounds like someone living my life story.
There's a lot of.
Oh my god.
Awesome. Okay, that's exciting. I'm gonna hit y'all with my number 3 now, guys, and I think it's gonna make us all feel a little cheery and warmer inside, because it is a beloved film by many. It is a crowd pleaser for sure. My film is WALL-E.
Yay!
It's an isolation
Love
movie, not the
WALL-E.
first one you might think of, but boy, do you feel boy, does it depict loneliness. Boy, does it depict how we occupy ourselves in these times.
Boy, does it depict our future. I mean, more or less. We got Elon Musk over here saying colonize Mars.
Yo, fuck Elon Musk. Watch WALL-E.
That's a t-shirt.
Who do you think the equivalent of by and large is? Like, current day. Amazon, I guess,
Amazon,
right?
Yeah.
I just came up with...
I think this is
Yeah.
going to be one that predicted a lot, especially when we're all fattened into chairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're like halfway there.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. We're about halfway there.
Yeah. I might be a little further. I'm feeling like sitting down. So y'all know WALL-E. Come on. It's a great movie. It's one of
I love
Pixar's
WALL-E.
best. I think it's my favorite Pixar movie, if I'm being honest. I think it has the most to say on a social level. It's the and it, you know, Pixar movies are all about the feels and the connections and the families and the friends and all that stuff, but WALL-E seems to go deeper than that and hit on things that I haven't seen another Pixar movie kind of get into, and that's becoming more and more relevant by the second. So
I
it's
love
a fun
in
one for
WALL-E.
isolation too.
I love how Hello Dolly, like the Barbra Streisand movie, is a motif in this movie.
Oh,
That is like one of my favorite parts of
Hello,
WALL-E. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it starts off, first of all, it has a great soundtrack, but when they're doing the like, this is a spoiler, but the hand thing, and they're singing "It Only Takes a Moment" from the Barbra Streisand version of Hello Dolly.
I can tell how moved you are by this.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's
Yeah, I
kiss.
cry every time. I love it. WALL-E is great. It's not my favorite Pixar. Ratatouille takes the cake on that one.
I haven't seen
but-
Ratatouille.
Oh, Andrew, come on. Come
know.
on.
I like that movie Willard.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same themes.
My favorite episode of Hoarders is the one with the rat guy.
You know, Willard, the guy that plays the main character in Willard, this is a crazy fact. He is a second cousin of one of my childhood friends.
No way.
No.
Kristen
Yeah,
Glover?
way.
Oh,
That was
Yeah.
God.
I'll never
It's
forget it
time
because we would go to like
for
Blockbuster,
movie
obviously,
trivia.
as kids,
Mhm.
over on like sleepover nights. And every time we'd pass by Willard, she'd be like, "That's my second cousin." And I'd be like, "That's so crazy."
He hung
And
out with
I've
a lot
never
of
seen that
rats.
movie. Never
You've
seen
never
that movie.
seen Willard?
Yeah, but I will
Oh.
never forget that that was
Look at
her
it.
cousin.
Look at it.
I have a love for Kristen Glover that like I could barely explain myself.
Have you seen what is it called? Have you seen the movies that are like "Leave Me Alone"?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's really where my love came in, where I was just
Okay.
like, this man's insane.
You know, he's done a lot for a lot of people. I haven't gotten to see those yet because I've been waiting because I know the Draft House plays them a lot. I got
Mhm.
one Draft House here in Brooklyn, and
Nice.
I want to go see them all in a row.
That and his Big Beaver trilogy are like the reasons why I'm a big fan of the guy.
He's like Nick Cage times 1,000.
Yeah, he tried to kick Letterman in the head one time. It's like,
Yeah.
What?
oh yeah, there's like a famous Letterman where Letterman walked off his own show because Kristen Glover almost kicked him right in the head.
Damn. That makes this whole story way more interesting. I can't believe I just name dropped that. Of all the celebs.
There he is. There he is kicking. Can you guys see that?
Yeah,
What compelled him to do this?
he was actually in character for the movie we were just talking about, like his trilogy.
Oh, nice.
No one asked him to be in character.
Right. But he's an actor.
Those are my favorite characters. The ones that nobody asked them to do.
Yeah.
All these people want their Kaufman moment, and he took it too far. It seems like.
Oh yeah.
You don't fuck with David Letterman, dude. Okay. That was, what did we just do? We just did my pick,
We got
right?
there from Wally.
Oh, we just did Wally. That's right.
Just
So
did
those were
Wall-E.
our 3. So now we're to our last 4 and 5. I'm sorry, I forgot about fucking Wally. It's hard. Okay, I got all the sounds. I got
La 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 la.
So, it's a lot.
Amazing.
I forget things. That was a depiction of my mind for you, Kevin. Did you like it?
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We started with a Clockwork Orange style thing, and now we're just inside the brain. It's great.
What's up, guys? I'm Justin Bieber.
I've seen you do this bit before.
I'm not going to do it. Okay, I will do this bit, though. It is time, before we take a break, we're going to take a quick break and keep people interested before our last 2 picks, guys. But before we do that, real quick, it's time for a special little thing that we call Intern Corner. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but we have a MovieBlab intern. His name is Alex Kahn. I met him because he was obsessed with the movie that I made, and he asked me for an internship, and I gave him a fake one, and this is what that is. Alex Kahn's joining us, and it's time for Intern Corner. That's right, guys. Intern Corner. Here's the way it works. I have no idea what Alex Kahn's about to say, and he's a pretty random kid, so who really knows? It's his hot take, and I get to decide when it's over. So let's start Intern Corner. Where is he? I think he's in there. No. Alex Kahn, go ahead, and I'll add you in a second. Just go ahead and give us your hot take today.
So my hot take is I think that horror movies have not been that self-aware in a while. I just think that there's so many really self-serious horror movies. And a lot of the ones that I really like that are self-aware, for instance, I really like the 2014 film Ouija, which nobody else agrees with me on.
It was directed by Mike Flanagan, wasn't it?
No, the Mike Flanagan one was a sequel that people like, which I actually think is overrated.
Uh-huh.
The one that I like is the stupid one in 2014, which I thought was completely self-aware, completely fun. And I liked Annabelle Comes Home, which I thought was pretty fun. And I just feel like a lot of the Blumhouse movies are so self-serious. Like, you're not A24. If you're not A24, just try to be a little bit more self-aware. At least that's what I think. But yeah.
Okay, I have to troll you for a second, Alex.
What?
Can we guess how much Ouija got on Rotten Tomatoes?
How much Ouija got? I know it's 7%.
6%. 6%. 6.
What are you gonna recommend next? Movie 43?
Movie 43 sucks.
All right, guys, that was Intern Corner, everybody. Thanks, Alex Kahn. It was super fun. We will see you. That's how it works. That's how the game works. Don't feel bad. He knows what he's getting. We love you, Alex Kahn, and we will see you for your next Intern Corner. Guys, that was a really good one. Okay, so if you're just catching up with us, we are doing our top 5 isolation movies. But first, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. So stay with us, guys. We love you. You love us. You're watching MovieBlab. I think that's all the pertinent info. Please follow us. Please like. Please subscribe. We're doing this for you. Literally no other reason. Maybe so I become famous. But that's not going to happen. So here we go, guys. This is why we need your help. Patreon. This is how you can support MovieBlab. We have some subscriptions that we have to keep up, and it's kind of expensive, actually, because we're doing a big scale show. So if you want to help us just break even, please consider donating $1 to $3 a month to MovieBlab. We're going to keep talking movies, and you're going to keep tuning in, right? All right, we'll be right back, guys, with more fun.
just retrieved it. How long are the breaks? Okay.
Okay, I can be back real fast. I'll be right
Oh
back.
yeah, this is your chance to go do something. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And it can go as long as you need it to. Right, guys, you're watching MovieBlab. Don't go anywhere. We've got a lot more on the way. Steve Gordon says we'll be right back. Love your selfie, by the way, Kevin.
Thank you.
Let me nail this. Sampaio?
Sampaio.
Sampaio. God, I was saying it so bad. I was like, let's make sure.
You were doing Sampaio, and that I'm like, that's so much better than almost any other person. I was like, yeah, it's fine. You did a good job.
I run into this problem because I call Kendall Powell all the time. So I'm not. Otherwise, I'd probably just do the old Kevin and Kendall thing. But then I always screw us up. All right, we're back, right?
Yeah, we're back.
All right. That was dope. Okay, guys, we are back with our top 5 isolation movies. It's been a great episode so far, despite the dark subject matter. Let's get into it. Kendall, we are at number 2. Holy shit, that means we're going to need to do a little bit more teasing before we reveal this one, Kendall. Let's see if you're getting the hang of it.
Okay. I read a report on this movie in college, if you can believe that, and I did not study film. I was an engineer.
Ooh, I'm guessing it. I'm almost guessing it. Keep going.
It's Japanese animation, and it's female-centric. Studio Ghibli.
What movie is it?
It's obviously Spirited Away.
Incredible! You wrote a whole paper
Except
on
for that,
Spirited Away?
now that I think about it, a lot of Studio Ghibli films are female-centric, which is wonderful. We love that. Quick, Spirited Away.
Quick.
That is an isolation movie.
That was delayed, but that was for women everywhere.
Yes.
Also, guys, by the way, it's Nurse Day, so shout out to all the nurses. Holy shit!
Yeah. Is it really? Is that like a? Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Well.
Anyway.
Yes. Spirited Away. I wrote a report on.
So
I
some
took a
people are
class.
questioning this as an isolation movie. Would you describe exactly what about it is isolation?
Okay, so first of all, it's definitely an isolation movie because the movie starts out where she's like, "Oh, I'm moving away to a new city." You're already a little alone in that, and then they pull off the road and they suddenly find themselves trapped, essentially across the river from an abandoned theme park, and then. I don't want to spoil too much if you haven't seen the movie, but I'm assuming everyone's seen the movie. But the girl, long story short, gets trapped in a bathhouse with all these spirits, and it's heavily Shinto-focused spirits, and it's great. The animation's amazing. And it's basically about her kind of coming of age, power of the self story, overcoming this strange spirit world alone, not knowing what to do and how to find her way back home.
It's amazing how we learn about ourselves through isolation, right, guys?
I mean, yeah. This is also like a super positive movie if we're gonna relate it to like current events.
Yes.
It's very environmentalist, and we love that.
Yep.
Yeah. And global warming.
Environmentalism is our friend.
Yeah. So this is a great movie, both about being alone and also about caring for and appreciating the environment.
There you go. You got to remember
and
what's
what Mother
important.
Earth has given you.
Let's not forget Mother Earth, okay?
Yeah, this is definitely the like positive pick that I chose. Everything else is very, very not
it's
positive
about to get
or
dark.
uplifting.
It's about to get darker.
Yeah, this is
well-
kind of like the Wall-E choice, but I think this is a much better movie than Wall-E. Sorry, Andrew.
Oh.
Savage.
I'll get over it. Kevin, let's just move on. Kevin,
Yeah,
what
I've
is
said
your
enough.
pick for your number 2 coronavirus quarantine isolation movie?
And my number 2 is, I guess I would say it's my like art housey pick. It's a weird surrealist Spanish movie
Ooh.
about a group of bourgeois,
Love that word.
wealthy intellectuals who go to a dinner, and once it's over, they can't leave, and they don't know why.
Oh my God!
Oh,
What
this
is the
sounds
title
fantastic.
of this movie? I can't take it
called
anymore.
The Exterminating Angel by Luis Buñuel.
The Exterminating Agent.
Angel.
Angel, sorry. I'm deaf in one ear. Fuck y'all. Let's see. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. What I like about it is that unlike all the other movies where like there's a specific reason why, they themselves don't know why they can't leave this house. And it's not like, oh, it's locked, we don't know why. It's literally like, wait, we can leave, right? And every time they get near the door, they're just like, I can't do it. And they just don't.
Oh, what? They just can't go.
No, and they
Whoa,
just
and the door's
stay
right
there, and
there.
they start to starve, and they start to just like go to their base human selves when they're supposed to be like these rich intellectuals who have everything, who had a great fancy dinner, and things just start to like devolve into like base humanity.
Oh, and I love that this is from 1962,
Mhm.
67.
It's definitely in the 60s. I'm not sure what year. Let me check.
Google is giving me 2 dates.
I'll check
62.
it.
62.
That sounds right.
It looks awesome. I mean, and that seems like
It looks gorgeous too.
Yeah, I would recommend any Buñuel film. He's, in my opinion, never made like a bad film, but all of his movies tend to have this like thing about class, and they're all surreal. He created the first surrealist film ever with Dali, Un Chien Andalou, and this film, like a lot of them, are essentially just like rich people getting together and being unable to get or do what they want, and there's never even a specific reason. They just can't do it.
That
And, like, you
seems
just have,
highly
like,
relevant.
Absolutely. And like and like the class thing really came to mind when I was thinking about like choosing this film. And the more I think about Buñuel films, the more they're like insane, but like they make sense like in like your core, where you're just like, yeah, I understand this insanity that's going on, and the longer I'm in here, the longer it makes sense to me.
That's incredible.
How am I able to watch this? This looks fantastic, and I particularly love movies from this time. Also,
It's on Criterion Channel if you have it.
I don't, but
Yeah, the free trial. You got
let's
2
see.
weeks.
Yeah, a free trial. I did a free trial to watch your next pick, so
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Going
Criterion
above and
Channel.
beyond for movies. We own that here.
Yeah, well, I wanted to watch everyone's number ones.
Yeah, it's sweet. I had luckily, well, I'm not gonna say anything. No way I've seen Kevin's number 1. He's all niche. It's great. You're a genius, dude. You know so much about movies. It's crazy.
Even before this, I watch a movie a day. So at this point, it's just gotten to a point where
a movie
great
a day.
doing Spanish. Yeah, at least.
Oh, inspiring. You're putting me and Kendall to shame. I also.
I like your picks. I haven't like.
And
just,
Kendall,
like,
you're
that-
killing it too. But
Yeah.
it's, you're just, you're not making me uncomfortable like Kevin is with how much he knows.
Well, we knew this. I'm not super knowledgeable.
Me neither. It feels like.
I just like to watch movies.
No, yeah. It doesn't matter whether you know every movie or you know a few movies, as long as you love movies, right? That's all
Yeah,
that
you
matters.
got more movies to watch now. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. And
Exactly.
I've been saying this on literally every top 5, but like, it used to be like, oh, I'm embarrassed I haven't seen that movie. Now it's like, sweet, like, I can watch this during quarantine. This is something interesting I can watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like, you're like, everyone's like looking for something now, right? Is the idea. I'm looking for anything that's new that isn't shot on Zoom. You know?
For TikTok.
TikTok, yeah. Forget Zoom. TikTok is going Hollywood, remember?
It's the future.
Well, guys, I think it's time for my pick for the number 2 film for quarantining in isolation. You can't leave. My pick for number 2 is a classic movie and another childhood favorite. I don't know why. I guess I'm reverting to my childhood in quarantine.
No.
It is. But this is one of the earlier like PG-13 movies I got to see in theaters. Castaway, starring Tom Hanks, Corona survivor Tom.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, hashtag Tom Hanks, hashtag Hanks.
God, that feels like 6 months ago now.
It was. Before we get to our top ones, though, I'm going to hang up on these guys real quick so I can resync their conversations, and now they're all back at fresh. Beautiful smiles on their faces when I pause them. Castaway, guys, is an incredible film, and I haven't seen it in a while, I'm going to be honest. And to be totally transparent, okay, I don't feel like watching any isolation movies right now because I feel like it's hitting too close to home. Given the situation. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like it doesn't mean like I don't think I could handle Castaway right now because it gets so into the lonely desperation of being all by yourself, and I'm not. I'm just saying like Castaway is a lot, and maybe because I watched it as a kid, but that plane crash ruined me. It like freaked that it opens. There's an amazing like plane sequence. Do you guys remember that? None of you have seen.
You know, I've seen this movie one time, and I saw it in theaters, and I won't forget, with Blair and her mom.
Great.
And I remember just being traumatized by when he pulls his tooth out.
Oh God!
Incredible scenes.
So wait, no way. There's no way I saw this in theaters. I was 6. I think I really did see it in theaters, though.
I know I saw this movie in theaters.
I
like,
feel like I've only...
It came out in 2000, 20 years ago.
So so then I was 11 or something.
No, no,
9.
Andrew, you're not 31.
I am not?
No. Yeah, who's to say?
It's 5. You can't take it back. Like I said, I'm 31 now. It's true. Okay, that's my pick. I love Castaway. I think it's directed by Robert Zemeckis, right?
Yeah.
Other films I love by Robert Zemeckis, Flight. Okay,
Another
movie.
just like it's plane crash movies.
I'd love to do plane crash movies.
This is why you might be afraid of flying, I think.
It's like I don't think people are gonna appreciate it when I'm on here doing 9/11 movies on 9/11. I don't think people are gonna like that. I gotta cut this a fine line with these.
I personally appreciate 9/11.
Remember me.
I don't like it.
I do. That's fine. Good job, Kevin. Sometimes you gotta try to lie. Kendall's mad at me. You can see it on her face.
No, I'm confused because we don't get the green screen view.
Oh,
anymore.
thank you for the reminder.
We're looking at each
Feel
other
free
now.
to shout out any tech issues.
That was why my concerned face existed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
in a way, you were mad at me for not sharing this. There we go. So now you can see what we're
Yay!
doing.
I'm comfortable again.
Yes. This is my favorite part of the show where the audience is just like, what's happening? And then nothing changes. I feel like I should dive deeper into this. Have you ever loved a beach ball as a volleyball as much as Wilson in this movie?
You know, my dad was a semi-professional volleyball player, so I've hated the volleyball as much as he has in this movie.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That is so specific. I'm obsessed with it.
Can you say that again?
Family's Brazilian, so it makes a little more sense why he played. But like, just like any stereotypical sports movie where your dad was like the best in high school, where he just like throws baseballs at you, it's like him with volleyballs. So I truly have hated the volleyball the same amount Tom Hanks does when he fights with Wilson.
God.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if I would still buy this movie now. I think I would. It's my number 2 pick.
It's not on.
I've never seen this in a theater, but I can't imagine this movie without commercials from TBS in between it, because that's the only thing I've seen.
That's the way to watch.
Yeah.
It's like this and like My Cousin Vinny are the same
And
genre
it's like 5
of
hours
only
long.
commercials in between the movie.
I feel that way about Misery, honestly, and Leprechaun.
Shawshank's the same thing. There's a bunch of movies like this.
Leprechaun.
Shawshank for sure. Leprechaun. Do they play that on cable? Like that?
Yeah, on
wild.
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh my god.
They used to play it on Spike
That's
TV on St.
amazing.
Patrick's Day.
That's
I don't know if they
so
still do.
good.
They probably should. I'd
I don't
love to
think
do a
Spike
deep
TV
dive
would
into
make
that
anymore.
series.
Yeah, I was about to say, does Spike TV still exist?
I don't think so.
Probs not. No, I have no idea. I don't even, does cable still exist?
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
Yes. So yeah, I think that's enough time at least spent talking around the topic of Castaway. I wish I had more to say about it, except that it's just a great isolation film, and Tom Hanks obviously, this is in the prime of his career. Not that he isn't now, but yes.
Yeah.
His transformation physically too is quite incredible, as he loses weight, starves, and befriends a beach ball and becomes more delirious and figures out how to survive. It's a tale of resilience and hope that one day the plane will come for us all.
Wait, I know a good joke about this movie from Robert Zemeckis, actually.
Hit me. What?
So, you know how at the end of the movie he never opened one box that he returns?
Yes, I love that.
So, he did a Q&A one time, and someone was like, what do you think was in the box? And he said, a walkie-talkie and a flare gun.
That is amazing.
That is pretty good.
If only he looked. It is weird that he cares so much about their personal. Robert Zemeckis sometimes just has characters make crazy decisions, but I'm always down for it.
Robert Zemeckis, his characters are fueled by just spur of the moment. This is how I feel now, even though the rest of the movie is we've already learned this lesson. Don't do this anymore. And they're all insane, and I love it.
It's true. He's got a cast of loonies. A Flight comes to mind. Obviously, I love that. The characters in that are so absurd. And it's
I need
killer.
to watch one from the Marwin, but I can't bring myself.
I can. I don't think I will. Just like I didn't watch A Christmas Carol. I don't think I will be watching Welcome to Marlin.
I hear it's insane, so that's why I'm looking for it.
Oh, okay. If it's roastable, or is it good insane?
No,
Isn't it
definitely.
based on a documentary? It seems just so weird.
Yeah, it's a guy who has a doll fetish who creates that to get past PTSD. It's a weird movie.
I love it.
Wait, what movie?
Welcome to Marwin.
Can we do our top 5 movies where people make little dolls?
Oh,
Hereditary,
Welcome to Marwin.
Being John
Isn't
Malkovich.
Being John
really
Malkovich
can't
isn't
do this.
quite making. I guess it is.
Come on,
making
other
dolls.
making little doll movies. There's so many. I feel like it's a weird thing that I feel like happens more in movies than in real life.
It totally does.
It's the same movie.
Welcome to Marwin is the one that has what's his face? Steve Carell. Yeah.
Also, Downsize, movies about tiny versions of people don't
Downsize
really do
was
good.
a bad movie.
I know, but those
Sorry.
are good. And then there was Gulliver's Travels with Jack Black. That was a
Or
flop.
downsizing.
People
I
don't
guess
like
is
the
what-
tiny people movies. The version
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is beloved, though.
Well, of course, but that was
Yeah.
had more conflict because the guilt of being a parent and shrinking your kid. Can
Also,
you imagine?
going back to Disney World, the Honey I Shrunk the Audience ride always terrified me.
Honey, I Shrunk.
Did you love it, Kevin?
I did. I do remember being a big fan.
That ride was
scared the
amazing. I
shit
remember
out
it.
of me.
And it sprayed you with shit and stuff.
Yeah, it was one of those gross out 4D
Oh,
experiences.
yes, it was incredible.
Yeah.
And they had a hologram-esque thing going on.
Oh, it's still there, to my
It hasn't
knowledge.
changed?
I went to Disney World in college. Don't ask. With our theater friends, obviously, and we rode that. I want to say, and it was still scary. Those rides just freak me out. I just can't handle it.
Well, don't worry, they're probably going to go away. I don't think they can afford to keep that
Yeah,
one
they
going.
probably are.
Full circle with another story for this.
Yes, we'll be back with more of that.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Anyway, where are we in this? I can't even remember.
We're number 1 now.
Oh, this is number 1.
Oh no. Oh
No.
yeah, because that was your number 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was. This is number 1.
Yes, and you're first. That's what's going on. Castaway was my
Yeah.
number 2. That was kind of a mistake, but I don't
Well,
care.
I thought that yours.
As
Can
I
I
was trying
spoil?
to defend it,
I
I was
thought
like,
your
wait.
number 2 was for obvious
It
reasons.
was gonna be Human Centipede 2.
Yeah.
But I brought it up last night because we did serial killer movies, and I wasn't gonna be that creepy, like raving about Human Centipede 2 twice in a row.
Oh,
I just felt like I needed to vary up the recommendations. I try not
Also,
to
are you
repeat them.
necessarily raving about it, or is it kind of like
I'm raving. I love that movie.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's really a piece of.
I couldn't get through it.
Oh,
I couldn't.
what about
The first movie like grossed
Did
me
you see
out
the
so
mother? The
severely.
scenes with the mother and like the pedophile like therapist that he
No.
comes in.
No, I didn't see any of this because I refused.
Kevin, have you seen any thoughts on Human Centipede?
I unfortunately have been to a screening of the entire trilogy.
Oh, that's not
Wait,
unfortunate.
there's 3?
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
What are
Yes,
three?
the third one's insane. It's in prison.
Wait. Oh, wait. But the second one, there's like 12 people. So what's the third one? Like 100
Way
people?
more
Whole
than 12
prison.
people.
Like the whole person.
It's the whole prison.
That's just
It's a
no
prison
one
experiment.
needs that.
Yes.
No one needs that.
Yes, we do.
Oh
We have
God,
to
I
push-
could.
We have to push the medium to its outer limits, to its.
I
to
feel
its-
like I'm like highly desensitized to a lot of things in horror films, but Human Centipede 1 was too much for me.
I think I find this movie, The Human Centipede 2, to be much more palatable. What do you think, Kevin?
I see. I did it all 3 in a row, so I think of it as a cohesive experience.
Oh.
And I
Yeah.
just
As you
remember
should, as
walking
you
out
should.
of the theater with my friend, and just neither of us like saying, "Oh, that was gross" or crazy. We just both were like, "Let's get in the car. Let's just go." I like don't want to talk about this anymore.
Oh,
That was
Yeah.
too many hours
Was
thinking
it
about it.
back to back?
All 3, yeah.
Where was this?
This is in Syracuse, New York.
Oh, I gotta try to. Is it a yearly thing? I'm gonna go next
Feels
year
like
and
a
see what
similar
happens.
set to the
God, I hope not.
Yeah, that's actually my number 2, guys. I'm sorry. You're right. I think it is a
Humans.
great isolation movie because they're trapped in the warehouse where he's stapling their butts to their mouths. So this guy gives an incredible performance. He's so frightening and so fantastic. I can't even explain to you how good he is in this movie. Anyway, it's not for everyone. It's not, but I guess it's for me.
really not for anyone. And if it is, yeah,
I'm gonna cut away before I show something in graphic in nature and lose all
we don't want
lose all
that.
sponsorship potential in the future.
It's a ballsy move to Google Human Centipede too.
Yeah, you're right. Well,
It's a
I
ballsy
I
move
put,
to
I put
Google
the
image
filter on. I do
anything.
put the filter on before I do go live so that
Good move.
it's safe search. It's a safe search. But usually I Google uncensored. I want to see it all. Anyway, Kendall, let's get to our number ones. I can't
Okay.
wait any longer.
Okay, my
What?
number 1.
Oh no.
Oh shit. We ready? Okay, I'm not really gonna build up this suspense. I almost said expense, which doesn't make any sense. My number 1's The Lighthouse. the one that just released like 6 months ago. That one.
I love this movie.
I watched this for the first time on Saturday, and the whole time I watched it, which I would say from this guy, I had a different experience watching The Witch. Like that one clicked very instantly.
Yeah.
The Lighthouse, the whole time I kind of searched for some random plot twist, which I won't reveal because it'll ruin the movie. But once I started reading about it, I was like, oh, actually, no, this is great. And it's
So
just
it
the
took a
movie's
minute.
about.
It took a minute.
It took a minute. It took a minute. I was also like real tired and was
Oh, just like that.
kind of upset by the. Yeah, just like them. I was kind of upset by some of the imagery in a good way.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. I mean, it is not an easy viewing experience, but it is a very,
Yeah,
It's somehow fun still.
but I love Willem Dafoe. I just do.
Yeah, me too.
Because of basically everything about him.
Everything. Is
And I love Robert Pattinson for just being in this movie. And I think he's a good actor too. So I just loved it. Honestly, I really don't have many critique. I thought it was well done.
It's crazy you saw it so
And it's
recently.
About isolation. It couldn't be more about
It
isolation.
couldn't be more about
The whole
isolation.
movie is that.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Yeah, you're right. So it's a perfect pick for that. Absolutely.
But if we're gonna compare, and I'm gonna go there, I did think The Witch was better, but I'm biased because
you
there's
know-
kind of the female-centric girl
yes,
power
this was definitely
witch.
a man movie.
It's a Duke
And-
Rock movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Lighthouse is all about basically the male experience.
Kevin, what did you think?
I absolutely love this movie. I saw it in theaters very hungover, and it was just exactly what my mindset was at this hungover state.
Oh yes, of course.
And just like I've like my girlfriend hasn't seen this movie, but I will, when have had a few drinks, just start randomly talking about it, where I'm just like, there's just a scene where they're just yelling what at each other, and I don't know why, but it makes so much sense to me. I love it so much.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
That scene too is really good.
It
when the
is.
scenes turn into that, like when Robert Pattinson starts drinking,
Yes,
is when the movie gets really especially good.
I think it is one of the best comedies of the last 5 years.
Yeah, it's
I
hilarious.
think it's hilarious, and it's executive produced by the guy who made Home Alone. And I don't
Oh,
understand.
I did
Which
not
is a
know
great-
that.
which is a
is
great
another
isolation
honorable
pick.
mention.
Yeah.
I have no idea why he did it, but like I just came out of that movie being like, I don't know what this says about me, but that's one of the most relatable movies of the year for me. I just loved it.
That's amazing.
Huge fan.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. I wasn't tired when I saw it, and I still thought it was amazing. Or hungover, but I mean, y'all
The
both watched
scene
it
at
like
the end,
exhausted. That's amazing.
Like the
Yeah.
sound editing at the end
Oh, the
Amazing.
sound
really
is so good.
scared me. Like
I
like
I
this one more
really
than
did
Witch. I
feel
love-
afraid. What was that?
I like this one more than The Witch, but I love them both. But this one to me is just like, just two guys in a lighthouse.
I like
It's
this
just,
one the best. Yeah.
Well, this one, I think it's the like male female
You're right.
perspective.
We're like,
totally
oh, we like this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like I feel like when I talk about that movie, Call Me by Your Name, it's like the men that I know are always like, that movie is the best movie ever, and I'm like,
I've
I
never
think
seen
that's because it's more. Oh, what? No way.
it. Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay, well, It's a good movie, but
Yeah.
people, my like friends that are men, like that movie better than I would say that I liked it. But I feel that way about The Lighthouse, except for that it was very fun to watch because basically it gets hallucinatory and it's like fun, and fun is maybe the wrong word to use, but it gets crazy.
Well, I mean, here it's described as wickedly gleeful horror, which I think
Yeah.
is true. It is gleeful. It's somehow he balances it and he takes you to super dark places and then lightens them, and then it's crazy.
Yeah.
well,
I
the
like-
first noise of the movie is a fart. It's Willem Dafoe farting.
Yeah, that's like the motif.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's so many.
And
There's
it's,
some of
like,
the best fart
really
jokes
loud,
I've ever
and-
seen in a movie for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of sound effects,
You want a fart one?
no, but your one of your picks, I think your number one, had some crazy sound effects. that
Oh,
we'll
that's
talk
the sound
about.
design. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good tease.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyways, The Lighthouse.
great
I loved
pick with the
it.
lighthouse. Yeah.
I would give it a 9 out of 10, in my view.
1 out of 10. Okay.
10 out of 10 because The Witch I liked better. Or 9 out of 10 because I liked
you punished
better.
him for
Yeah.
making not as
I
good
gave
of a
1
movie.
star.
Yeah.
Well, no, I thought they were equally good. I mean, you can't beat that
Swear thing.
line. The dost thou wish to live deliciously? That's like the best line. You just can't
You're
beat
right.
that.
There's something special about the witch.
Sailor folklore is not the same as witch
But
folklore.
you know what he's
Oh,
making next?
No, I don't.
Viking movie, right?
A Viking movie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
It's gonna be crazy. He's like,
we need
I
some
guess
like
he's drawing
we
all the
need some
storyboards. in
druid
front of
shit
us.
from him. Like, why aren't people making druid movies?
I've read interviews of him, and he's been like, I prefer the research than to making the movie. I just like reading old English texts.
Yes, he clearly does. So, okay, I saw The Witch. I just have to interject this. I saw The Witch at Fantastic Fest and watched a Q&A with that guy, and
Let's say his
I
name.
was
Robert
It's
Eggers.
Robert
Yeah,
Eggers.
there you go.
He in the Q&A I was like turned off by his persona because he was very like, it's supposed to be ambiguous, and so of
Yeah,
course
you-
people in the
people-
audience were asking like, what
Yeah.
happens to this at the
People
end
like
of this?
that don't want to answer questions that aren't in the movie. Like they made the movie. So
Yeah.
yeah, and they get pissed off.
Exactly.
I've seen Michael Haneke get really pissed off about that.
But The Lighthouse did the same thing
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, and so after I saw that I was like, okay, I get it. I'm not angry anymore because the response the way it was like, that's just pretentious. But now I'm like, okay, no, it makes me like The Witch more.
That's exactly why he isn't talking about the movie.
Yeah.
So he doesn't seem even more pretentious.
Yeah.
Well,
all right, I'm done.
Great pick.
That was
I'm glad that movie deserves the length of time that we discussed it. Okay, let's get to Kevin's pick for his number one isolation movie.
My number one is a vampire film directed by my favorite director, I'd say. It's Jim Jarmusch's Only Lovers Left Alive.
Amazing.
Hell yeah.
I love Jim Jarmusch. I haven't seen this.
You haven't seen it, Andrew?
No,
What's up?
Well, I watched it 2 nights ago.
Oh, was I supposed to? Well, I didn't. Okay, I didn't realize we were watching each other's favorite picks. All right, I didn't realize that because I missed like a day of the texts. I realized that like this morning.
It's okay. Okay.
But I will. I mean, we're gonna go over the movies that we want to watch the most out of all these recs. I still have to watch today. I have to watch fucking Training Day for Crag because we're doing a fave swap. I'm excited though. I've never seen it.
It's good.
Yeah, I love cop movies, so
Yeah.
yeah. But then I will. I'm sorry, Kevin.
No worries. Well, I don't expect anyone to have watched any of these, so that's all good.
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
I guess I'll
Kendall.
go into it a little bit. I love Jarmusch, and I actually remember I intentionally missed a flight back to college to go see this movie when I was like visiting someone in LA because it was only playing in New York and LA.
You intentionally missed a flight to watch this.
Because he's my favorite filmmaker, and I was like, I might even have to wait months to see this and not see it in theaters because I go to college in Syracuse, New York, or I'm going to go watch it in LA with my bags for the airplane. And I love this movie. It's about a vampire couple who have been living for hundreds of years, and one of them kind of jaded with the like world because people are destroying the world and they don't care about like important things.
It's so good.
And I just love it. I just think it's like one of the most like perfect vibe pieces and like really romantic. Honestly, it like the film to me is about like finding someone you care about rather than like caring about the entire world, caring about the same things as you. And I think like Jarmusch just made a career of making like impeccably cool people, and Tilda Swinton and Tom Hiddleston are just some of the coolest in this movie, at least.
Vibe piece is like the perfect way to describe this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it on Monday, and yeah, if I had seen this in high school, which I know this came out well after I had graduated high school, but if I had, I feel like this would have been my favorite movie ever of all time.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
totally.
I love it.
Like you see it and you're like, God damn, I wish I was Tilda Swinton. I also love Tilda Swinton and everything that she does.
Oh yeah.
Is it as good?
But-
is it as good as Mystery? I'm gonna watch it no matter what. But is it as good as Mystery Train?
I put it on
haven't seen
par
that.
with that one.
On par with Mystery Train.
I'm a big fan of Mystery Train. I love this one just as much. The only movie I like more than this one that he's done this decade is Patterson.
I thought
But
you were gonna say The Dead Don't Die. I haven't seen that one.
I actually like Dead Don't Die, even though most haven't liked it.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I don't like Broken Flowers. That's the only one that I struggled with.
This movie was so good because it's like super pretentious, but in a way that feels accurate. And you're like, this is great.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
Because it's like Kevin said, it's these vampires that have been alive forever, so they have all these like interests and knowledge and
Yeah,
whatever
they're
and
smart as
experience,
hell
and they're
now.
like, well, I used to compose music with whomever, and it's just great, and the soundtrack is amazing too.
Yeah, and Jarmusch, like, he was originally part of like that no wave punk scene in this like 70s New York. He like studied poetry and like was in a bunch of bands with these random people who like were friends of Basquiat. So you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna let him be pretentious. I think he's allowed to when he's like
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's really great.
And it premiered. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes in 2013.
You know who else is in it? Anton Yelchin. Again, R.I.P. Two
He's
Anton
great,
Yelchin
too.
movies.
He's like
Yeah.
fun.
Killing it. He was
He's
so
kind of
funny.
like in some ways the plot driver a little bit.
Totally.
Anton is.
Him and like Mia, whatever her last name.
Yeah,
Mia
Wasikowska.
That girl.
Wasikowska.
yeah. She's great. Though it's great. I don't really have many critiques. It's slow, but when you're, I don't know, the theme of it just fits. It feels right.
Yeah, and like I think at this point I'm just used to Jarmusch novels. It says novel right there, so I just said novels. But I'm used to Jarmusch films, and they're all so slow and just like take their time, and none of them care about plot at all. But this one's just like a vampire couple, so they clearly can't even go out half of the day. They don't want to interact with people. They're wearing gloves and masks and sunglasses the entire time, which is where
I love. It's so chic.
God,
I love
really
that.
tying it back in there, Kevin.
Basically, vampire. Yeah, so it's definitely quarantine friendly because of the mask and glove situation. But I love a vampire movie that's not so on the nose. And this.
I've like listened to interviews with him before, and he's been like, the reason why I made it is because vampires don't interest me because they like kill people. They interest me because they're immortal. And after a couple hundred years, what do you do?
Yeah, it's so good, and the way that they have to. I mean, this isn't a spoiler because it's there right in the beginning of the movie, but the blood like makes them drunk, and I love that.
Yeah, it's like euphoric.
It sounds so awesome, especially.
Yeah, you need to watch it, Andrew.
Just the premise alone, it sounds. It was ranked among the 100 greatest films since the 2000s.
Oh,
okay,
that's cool. Yeah, it's great.
That's the thing now because that's like a 20-year.
Yeah, really.
Time.
Also, it was also a comforting movie to watch, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, I chose that as my number one because it was like you start with the guy who just dreads life and thinks that humans are wasting everything, and then his wife comes in, and you're like, oh, okay, this isn't that bad, and there's like actually a way to get through this.
It's described as a pinnacle of cool.
Yeah, I would call it that.
Describe every Jarmusch movie as that, and it would be like, yeah, that's accurate.
It's like overtly cool.
Romantic and sexy.
Almost to the way where you're like, is this uncool because it's that cool?
And then you're like, no, it's not.
And then you're like, actually, no, it's sick.
Yeah, and like, I was thinking about some other Jarmusch movies as like my possible number one, but after a while, it's just like, you know, it's vampires. They're like afraid of the world ending. This is perfect. What else can I do?
I honestly... Well, we'll see, but I think this one's gonna go on my top of the movies I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, it plays a little bit into like global warming and like drug abuse and stuff like that too.
Because
they have to, they gotta drink blood and shit.
Fucked up. They
don't want that contaminated blood.
That's the fun of monsters. They always gotta get their fix, and the fix is blood in some form. Great. That sounds like an incredible pick by an incredible filmmaker. I am now going to reveal my pick, if that's cool, guys. My pick for my number one movie to watch in isolation is The Platform. It's a new movie. Recently came out. Thank you. I could have cued my own enthusiasm, but I appreciate it. The Platform is a film that came out of nowhere for me. I knew nothing going into it. I watched it, and it blew my mind. I'm not like a crazy sci-fi fanatic, but this is, I guess, and it did it for me. I mean, man, this movie is like insanely psychologically and socially just like relevant as fuck. And I would say I loved Paradise. What is it? Paradise. Parasite. I love Parasite, but Paradise. I love Parasite, but I think this movie had even more to say about had even more class commentary.
Oh, totally.
On it,
I kind of agree.
Yeah. And so as it was almost satirical. And it's like a Jonathan Swift thing or something. It's like, I don't know. It's really good. It has just the premise of it inherent, which I don't even really want to give away, inherently makes you think about this stuff without having to hammer you over the head with it, you know.
Well, I kind of thought it did. It hammers it over the head.
Oh, I would
heavily.
Be unsubtle, but like in a good way.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
I agree.
I'm saying that just with the completely unsubtle premise, allows them to not have to try to like find subtle ways. It's just like, here it is. Does that make sense?
But there are though. You know, it's funny. I brought this up. I had a meeting with my boss this morning, and I was like, I watched this crazy movie last night called The Platform, and he was like, "Oh, I loved it." And anyway, we talked about it for way too long, basically half the meeting. And
awesome.
What's great about this movie is that, and I'm not going to spoil, I guess, too much, but it's about class disparity, right? And it's about kind of how recognizing your place, whether you're above or below someone. But even when you're below and then you reach the place that's above, and in the movie it's literal, you're still treating everyone like shit in a way that it's like you treat them more like shit because you've now reached this place of being higher than the rest.
Yeah.
And that's not really portrayed in Parasite. However, I think Parasite is a better
very
made
different
movie
movies
than this movie.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely. That's
since
just
it
the
was
thing that
brought
I
up.
think it does on a different level. It's just a
But
difference.
yeah, and this type of movie, like a sci-fi kind of whatever that plays into this specific, it's like pretty absurd.
Yeah.
It did a really good job. I was like shouting at the screen last night watching this.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of Cube, if you guys have seen that.
Yeah, I love Cube.
Oh, I haven't seen Cube.
Aww.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But I also love in this movie that these people volunteer or whatever, the characters.
Oh, yeah, that whole, yes, exactly.
That piece is also an added layer of like, that's great.
Well,
I
like,
just,
what is the world outside of it like?
right. And it's all because
Real
he
like
wants
that.
to read the book, which I feel like that doesn't spoil anything. That's quickly gained.
The performance is incredible. Do not watch it dubbed. Don't watch it dubbed.
No, that's weird. Don't do that.
Well, guys, I think that sums up our top 5 favorite movies to watch in isolation. Hanging out with yourself, watching movies. It's fun. There's Thoreau to say goodbye. Guys, it's been really fun. Thank you for both of you. Your first time on MovieBlab. I hope you'll come back again.
Yes, a lot of fun.
Thanks, Andrew.
Sound effects don't scare you away. Do you guys have anything you want to plug? Kendall, it could be an idea, it could be a thing, it could be a Twitter handle. What do you want to plug?
Oh, stay isolated, my people.
With that, Kevin, anything you want to plug, bud?
Now I'm going to go with the same thing right now. Nothing.
Yeah, that's usually what people are plugging these days, but I'm gonna plug MovieBlab. Just kidding. No, seriously, stay the fuck home. It's right there. It's right there. You can see it. It says it, and I mean it. Please stay home and wear a mask if you're not home. God damn, wear a mask. Come on, save lives. Anyway, please be safe, be happy, enjoy movies. Try not to let it all get to you by watching a couple isolation movies that make you feel your feelings even better. Thanks, guys. This has been MovieBlab, and we will see you tomorrow for a fave swap with Matt Cragg. He got me to watch Training Day, and I made him watch Police Story.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna get to dive into some dope cop movies, and that's gonna be fun. So make sure you tune in, and I think that's all I have to say about that. So see ya on the other side.
This is not your outro.
Yeah. But it's a good message. Anyway. Also, yo, nurses, we love you, nurses. We love you. Where's my fucking intro, outro thing? I guess okay. Oh, here it is. Hey, everybody, I'm Andrew Edison, and you're tuned in
to MovieBlab.